Hey guys, I'm coming at you with a new What If, part 1 of it. I'm gonna be planning on it. Now, I haven't really got any announcements to make, so let's hop right onto it. Oh yeah, plus, actually one announcement. Tuesday, this coming up Tuesday, I am going to have my second COVID vaccination. Well, second part of the COVID vaccination. I'll be fully vaccinated like a decent fucking human. So, yeah. Anyways, I'ma just, yeah, get on with the what if. Now let's get started. Anyways, this is what if Deku was an SAO survivor? Meaning, like he survived SAO. Let's say Zuko was part of the. Not the Holy. Yeah, he was also part of the Knights of the Blood Oath. Anyways, I'm not really going to be getting into what he did throughout his time in SAO. In fact, it's going to be more over after the fact. Like, post SAO. Like all the fucking trauma and shit. As I say, he went in around when he was around 12. Izuku, he's just waking up after. He was at the moment, was at the moment just actually in the middle of his speed session of his, the speed session of his training. He, trains all week, every week. He was in a speed session. All of a sudden, it feels like he just woke up after a really long sleep. Kind of just like, what the? Begins begins to sit up and realizes, wait, there's something on my head. Goes to take it off and looks at it. At first, he was really confused on what it was. Then he realized, shit, that's the nerve gear. He looks around, realizing he's he looks around, realizing he's he's back IRL. As he's, looking around, he begins to get up and go. He begins to get up and walk around. He feels unstable. Feels like he's been lying around for a really long time. And, well, as he's walking around, a nurse, very kind one actually, she comes up to him and says, "Hey there, can I help you?" He says, "Yeah. Where am I again?" She says, South End Tokyo's hospital. Why? He says, "Okay. Do you know where my mother is?" She says, "Yes, I just need." She says, "No, I just need to know your name. I could probably get her. I could probably get her. My name is Izuku Midoriya." She says, "Okay." She, you know, checks the files for Izuku, for an Izuku Midoriya. Finds a phone number to call if he wakes up. Yeah, little green-haired lady comes running in, hugging him. And Izuku, more in the process, a more bitchy, arrogant, dumb nurse. She says, well, he comes up all like, "What are you doing out of your bed? You need to get back in your bed now." Izuku's kind of looking at him. He's Phil. Izuku, he can pick up that vibe. This nurse is standoffish. He's kind of gestures towards the nurse he's with. Izuku, as the nurse is searching through the files, she says, "It's okay, I've got him." The male nurse beginning to be more arrogant than ever, he says, while trying to force Izuku, he says, "You need to be in bed now." Izuku being grabbed like that. Without realizing it, he kind of snapped, putting the big motherfucker on his ass. Izuku, he went to go reach for his sword and shield that are usually on his back, realizing his equipment's not there. Yeah, the nurse that's helping him, she carefully comes up to him, to calm him down. She sits him down in a chair, you know, big guy that got put on his ass. He's ordered by a doctor to go anywhere else but around him. His mother shows up, and yeah, the whole thing happens. Izuku gets home that night. Izuku, Mitsuki. Izuku and Auntie Mitsuki is there. And so is Aunt Mitsuki's son. No, Aunt Mitsuki's daughter, Katsuki. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's Katsuki in the anime. Honestly, I think that name might sound a little gender neutral. So, Katsuki. There we go. Anyways, Katsuki, as soon as Izuku walks through the door, yeah, he feels some real standoffish vibes off her right now. Like, he's not even sure if he wants to be around her right now. But naturally, Izuku, he learned to fight. Regardless of what he's facing, or what he has. There have been situations like that. And he's looking at Katsuki. She's, looking, annoyed and pissed, sitting there. She'd barely even realized that the door had opened. Izuku says, "Katsuki." Her head kind of snaps that direction. She's like, "What the? Deku, is that you?" He says, "Yeah, it's me." She says, "Huh? You gotten a little taller." And he says, And you have gotten angrier, little Pomeranian. As he begins to go to his room, she goes, "What did you call me?" He's Izuku stopped, and he says, "Little Pomeranian." Did I stutter? Okay. Miski, she holding our daughter back, and she says, "Hey, welcome home, Izuku." He says, "Thank you, Miski." Izuku, he sits down on his bed. He slowly begins to lay down. He's looking up and at his roof, realizing, damn, I'm back in the real world. I can't believe this. When do I have school? He's thinking as he falls asleep. And Izuku wakes up to something coming down on his chest. Izuku, he jolts awake, trying to access his menu, actually, but realizing, you know, it's not there. And Izuku, realizing what's on his chest, he realizes it's a kendo sword. Well, kendo training sword. He looks at it. He looks at her. He says, "What is this?" Well, what's her name? Yeah, Miski. Not Miski. Katsuki. She threw I forgot what it's called. I just said it. Kendo. Kendo sword. No, Kendo training sword on him. He says, "What's this?" She says, "It's a Kendo training sword. I heard about it last night. I want to see if it's true." Izuku, he says, "True about what? If you were the 15th strongest in the game." Izuku then, he gets up, gets all the Kendo training equipment on. Oh yeah, forget about this. Forget about the shield part. He usually fought with a one-handed sword. It was his defense and offense. Yeah. As as Kasuki gets into, the traditional samurai stance, Izuku gets into this seemingly weird stance that threw everyone off. But his composure was insane. It scared Kasuki a little bit from how composed he was. With a burst of speed, Izuku lunges forward, going for her head. She blocks it, tries to parry, but he already managed to jump back as the striking bit of the training sword came down. Then he came into her left, trying to strike. He struck hard. As he begins to spin around to strike, swinging right, she realized as he's spinning, it's my time, she goes to strike. But Izuku had already thought of that, as a sword was already at his back, pairing with it. The instant later, the sword was coming from her left. No, wait, it's coming from her right. She blocks it, jumping back. Izuku, then parrying a coming attack from Katsuki, then struck, parrying an incoming attack from Katsuki, getting her weapon up in the air, strikes her in the shin. That with a bit of force that made her fall. He has the tip of the Kendo's training sword to her face and says, "Stay down." He's sweating hard. He's breathing heavy. But, she's barely breaking a sweat. But he obviously showed that he has skill and astounding reflexes. As he drops the sword, goes to walk off. She says, "How are you?" She says, as she's getting up, "Hey, dickhead, be careful how you strike next time." He says, "I struck the guard on purpose. I know where I was going for." And he says, and she goes, "Well, I'm just a girl. You're a guy, and I've been laying down for 2.5 years. You have much more strength than me and stamina. All I had was skill. Train up, Katsuki." Katsuki, naturally, she's just fucking. And Katsuki. Well, no, wait. What's her name again? Mitsuki. Mitsuki is surprised that someone managed to beat her daughter. Especially considering that she has got a full ride scholarship. And of course, some of her friends think, "Hey, let's record it." Sorry about that. Alright, full darkness, guys. So, Izuku, he goes to lay back down. I think I just saw something I didn't want to see. Let's hope it's not what it really is. Yeah, Izuku just saw something he did not want. Izuku, after he gets back to his room, he has his little breakdown. Yeah, he's obviously just. He's doing it quietly. It's not obvious. Ooh, Internet City. Anyways, yeah, Izuku's having a quiet mental breakdown in his bedroom. After a few minutes of that, he, finally subsides. As he comes back out fully dressed and ready for the day. As, Izuku's mother got him back, rolled back in. Has him enrolled in the new school. Everybody is, well, everybody looks just the same as they did in SAO. and, and, well, everyone else is, surprised to be out here. Aside from like 300 are missing. Which Izuku looks into it during lunch. 300 of them haven't woken up yet. They suspect it'll only be days from now that they wake up from this. Well, they're not sure how long it's going to take them to wake up, to be honest. The guy that covered it, he a bit pudgy, maybe weighing around 260 pounds. His long hair, big old beard, glasses, and a bit of he's actually in California. He's speculating that these 300 have probably got crap internet connection or something's wrong with the nerve gear. If you guys know who I described, then you know. If you don't, well, too bad for you. He's literally in my channels. The channels I'm subscribed to. So, Izuku spends, the rest of his day keeping, watching all the things about SAO that happened. About, oh yeah, he was there. What I mean by when he was there, there are a lot of things I mean by when I say he was there. Just to clarify for you people. First floor battle, he was there. He was rocking level 5 by then. So pretty high level. He was on a majority of the battles. And Izuku, well, he was involved in the Laughing Coffin raid. He, got some blood on his hands. A couple of Laughing Coffin members, noticing that he's not too strong, but he's one of the strongest in the game. Let's take care of him. That's more blood on Izuku's hands. And of course, the bosses, it's literally a life or death situation week by week. It's messed him up. Izuku, well, and he gets home that day. He's more depressed that, he made some friends that got fucking slaughtered. And Izuku, he's going to his room. Katsuki, she stops him on his way up the apartment complex stairs. She says, "Hey, Deku, what happened in there? You used to be all, like, happy and shit. What happened to you?" Izuku stayed silent and said nothing as he, continued up the stairs. She obviously was not buying it. So, Katsuki, she's chasing him down, trying to ask him what happened in there. Zuko, he said, he keeps saying nothing, nothing, nothing happened. And then, as he reached his door, he has his hand on the handle. She puts her hand over his hand, stopping the handle from turning. She says, "Hey, what happened?" He throws her hand away with his and says, "It's none of your damn business." He has a look in his eye that he would get every time he about to face a boss battle. Katsuki, seeing that in his eye, she's sweating bullets. She's about to blow his ass up. Izuku goes inside of his home. Katsuki, she tells us to Mitsuki. Mitsuki is, well, Mitsuki is naturally torn up about it. She thought, she thought maybe it would be fine if he didn't do his own. Maybe he'd. Fuck, I can't even speak. He thought he would be fine after a little bit. She thought not too much happened in there. From what from what her daughter has described, she fears the worst for Izuku. That this may be like some real bad PTSD to deal with for years to come. And she was right. Izuku, not feeling tired, but he's feeling restless. And, well, he just goes out walking. And Izuku just keeps walking and walking. Comes across this abandoned building where, he actually finds something interesting. He's able to find a forge. No, not a forge. He actually finds a warehouse that has an abandoned warehouse, but a warehouse. He decides to go check it out on the inside. He notices there's a bunch of swords. Not like traditional samurai swords, but I mean like actual straight up swords. Like as in SAO swords. They have his attention immediately. As he's looking them over, he realizes, wait a minute. These are all SAO swords. Izuku, realizing that he's in the A section, begins going down. B, C, D. Goes all the way down to I, looking for his name. No, wait. He goes all the way down to D, looking for his name. He sees it. Deku. An exact replica, IRL replica of a sword. And its sheath. And I'm going to leave it off there because, well, I need a little time to think and to draw the sword. So, deuces. Well, if you guys have something to say or anything, if you guys have something to say or, like it, don't like it, down there, you know what to do. Officially, deuces.